about me and my age and sexuality.
Okay.
Who? Howard Stern. Okay? Okay. So I had written a book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Looking and Feeling Younger. And so I was on the Howard Stern show to promote that. So I come up on stage, and he's looking at me, and all morning he's talking about this hag that's coming up, this hag who sleeps with young guys. He's disgusting, this hag. So I walk on, I said, here's your hag. So I sit down like this.
Unnerved him.
And he was like, you look good. Is everything real? I said, teeth? All real. So then he's like, oh my God. He said, it says here that you're going to go topless. I say, actually, Howard, it's rather warm in here. And I'm taking off my jacket. And he is definitely, for all his jockitude, he's definitely uncomfortable. How do you like that? So he says, are you going to take your top off? And I said, oh, yes. We've been practicing. That's all I had to do is grab myself. And I had like so much assurance that it undermined him. And then I made out believe that I was a feminist. And I said, Howard, if an old guy goes with young women, everyone thinks he's so great. They have respect for him. They revere him like he's so special. Howard, just let an old woman sleep with young guys, and society treats her like she's sick and like she's disgusting. Well, I want to tell you something right now, Howard. And then I pause and I say, I'm sick and disgusting. He doesn't know what to do with that. And they said, are you going to take your top off? Actually, you're too old for me. And Robin says, Howard, you're too old for Hattie.
Yeah, that's more like it.
So he calls out the guys from the back room, and they're all in their 20s, and he says, would you F her? And they said, definitely,
absolutely.
Of course, absolutely. So he said, well, okay, let's stand up, Hattie. So I stand up, and I had this figured out. I'm wearing a dress with elastic straps because I'm not pulling the dress up over my face and on TV like, where is she? Peekaboo? No. So I have a Norma Kamali black dress. I'm not wearing a bra, and I pull my straps down, and I stand up. And he says, show it to this one, show it to this one. Go sideways like nudity. I think it's superb. And because I am a therapist and a healer and an anti-aging coach, because I'm teaching
and you're
people
hot.
And I'm hot for sure. And I'm teaching people to honor their bodies and honor their beings. What I said to myself and my breast, the best thing about you, sweeties, is there are two of you. Safe, healthy, coming from a place of real value and self-respect. So what I'm doing is combining a really raunchy, sometimes vulgar way of being with a deep spiritual sense of self. And my memoir, and we're searching for the right publisher for that memoir, it's called Saint or Slut, A Cougar's Search for Love. And I have no problem with the word slut. I know sainthood has to do with impeccability, integrity. I have those qualities. I never had an affair. I never slept with anyone who was in a relationship with anybody else. And you'd say, so who does that leave? It left plenty. Don't kid yourself.
Oh.
And then there was this guy. I used to put ads in the papers in the old days before we had TV matchmaking. You would put ads in New York Press, and they were free. So I would say, exquisite older beauty seeks young lover. Like, who's going to answer that? Like everyone and their uncle.
Oh.
And then I would write, bodybuilder, motorcycle, musician, preferred.
Oh,
and it was
like
under 35 only. Then later on, in my liberal style, I raised it to under 40.
Oh,
That's
you
the
wild
kind of
one.
You know, I'm just so kind.
All those 35 to 40s that were left out.
Yeah, right. I just felt I have to be.
Who stands out if you, without a name obviously, what experience really jumps out?
My fireman.
Your fireman.
My fireman. Honey, I can't hear a fire truck without thinking about him. Now, we never had a deep relationship in terms of an actual relationship. It was very clear from the start that we would make love when he felt that he wanted that kind of relaxed sexuality that he could get from a mature, confident older woman. And so what I say, it was just like an alarm would go off. Hello? Danny? It's okay, no second names here. And it would be him. And he was so sweet and so dedicated to his work. He was empowered to do some very, very extraordinary rescue attempts. So there was that public service aspect, but he was so sweet and so fine. And the one thing about him that made it super special
His hose?
Is what, dear?
His hose?
No. Very good fireman. Ha ha! Didn't get it right away. Very good there, kid.
Yes. Great success.
No, it was that I never thought of a forever with him, and he never thought of a forever for me. That was the best. Now, I wrote an article on my blog, radicalista.com, called Cougaritis, Beware, Slippery When Wet.
Where do you come up with these? I love
Don't
it.
ask me. And what that's about, and what I caution people so they won't have to go through agony in the way that I really actually did, is don't think of forever with a young lover. It's very, very rare, possibly without possibility. And that's perfectly okay. And you must make it okay. The guy must never feel he owes you his future. So though you may feel young and vibrant, he'll feel good because you're not putting pressure of a future on him. And what, are you going to start raising a family? That was like my joke. People say, well, why do you go? Well, I'm thinking maybe of starting a family. It's like, and then with older women who might resent the way that I am with young guys, they'll say, what do you talk about? I said, talk about? If I want to talk to someone, I'll call you.
Phone, yeah.
I'll call you and we'll talk about a museum display. But then when they were talking about this quite a lot, I finally said, well, what else would we talk about? The Battle of Normandy. Like they were born after the war. And so it's like, unless someone has the sense of humor,